Here's your daily dose of fitness, food, and fun. Angelica's Daily Surprise starts now.
Ron just did a show next door, killed at 1 p.m.
They were just happy to be bussed here from the home, honest to God. When Buddy put that empty bowl in front of his feet on market day in the Middle Ages and did a tight 10 on the price of turnips.
Hello there and welcome to my apartment. Today we have a very special guest in the apartment. Perhaps the most special guest I've had yet on Angelica's Daily Surprise. We have stand-up comedian, performer, entertainer, author, writer, actor, and national treasure, Ron James.
Thank you.
Surprise! Thanks for coming in
well,
today.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Turned 65 2 weeks ago, and I already had a gig for the Canadian Association of Retired Persons, so I'm warming up for the home.
You're going to start getting those sweet grocery store discounts next, huh?
Absolutely. Discounts on Depends at Shoppers. The whole world is opening up.
We actually have some Depends here if you'd like them.
I'm sure there were some in the audience today. I'm fine.
Ron just did a show next door and killed at 1 p.m., which is almost near impossible to do in the world of stand-up comedy, I'd say.
They were just happy to be bussed here from the home, honest to God.
You did mention something about chin whiskers in your act.
I did.
They weren't too thrilled about that.
No,
yeah.
they weren't.
No, women don't like to hear about menopause.
Well,
okay?
I know, but what she said to me, I mean, the joke went that I was at the airport and I saw a woman I hadn't seen since university, and the first thing she said to me was, well, the last time I saw you, you didn't have white hair. And so I thought, the last time I saw you, you didn't have chin whiskers. So it's just the way it is. I didn't mean to be misogynist or rude, but, oh boy, it's a minefield these days,
well,
isn't it?
It is a minefield, and it's hard to be rude in comedy without being offensive almost. You're always offending somebody, but
you know, Billy Connolly, my hero.
Oh, I love Billy Connolly.
Yeah, he's brilliant. And and I gave him I used one of his quotes in the book that he told me in Montreal. I said, how did a Glaswegian welder become an international sensation? And he got pissed off at me. He said, that's a question about fame. To hell with fame. Just sing your song, tell your stories, sing your song. And Billy always said, it's the intention behind the joke.
Yeah.
And it's not our job to punch down. I mean, you don't make fun of the man in the gutter. You make fun of the potentate on his golden throne. When I left improv after 3 years chasing the sitcom dream in LA and moved into stand-up, that's when a wider world of wonders opened up.
Yeah.
And it's been since I think it was 94 I started stand-up. So I was 38.
Wow. Nice.
Came to the game late.
Wow, yeah, you know what? 38. I will say, though, that is one of the things that I absolutely love about stand-up is that you can start kind of whenever, at any age.
You can indeed.
And it's starting young, actually, I think, is a bit of a hindrance in some ways because you need to go live your life.
Yeah, and I think you need the perspective of loss. And I think you need the trials that come with living life. And I remember Rich Hall did an interview in the days that he was playing the Laugh Resort, which is where I started, which is long since gone.
In Toronto.
With great comedians there. God bless him. One of my mentors, 11 years my junior, who since passed on, Tim Steeves, was just a warrior on that stage, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Rich Hall was being interviewed for the Star, and he said, I really didn't start getting comfortable in my own skin up here in front of the mic until I had 10 years in.
Oh,
and I remember thinking I had 2 years in at the time, and I thought, Jesus, 10 years, come on. And here it is now. I had 5 in the clubs before I moved in the road. And I'm sneaking up on 24 years in April playing soft seaters. And a long time ago, nobody believed that it was worth chasing a stand-up career in Canada. And I'd already put my 3 years in Los Angeles.
Right.
I mean, chasing a career for the soft seaters. And the soft seaters had their wall up. They didn't want stand-ups because they'd say, oh, we saw some comedy come through town and they were really blue and crude. And I said, well, listen, if you see a band and you don't like the band, do you stop listening to music? So it was a hard sell, but eventually one gig and 1 kilometer at a time, and I eventually broke in. So it was this victory in baby steps, and it was...
That's what it always is.
It always is, and there are no shortcuts.
No, there aren't.
And this is the ruse that I think social media has perpetrated, that you can be hot on social media and go viral, and okay, I've gone viral with a couple of posts.
Yeah. Time
for the money to start rolling in. No. It's always about the act.
Well, because you have to eventually back it up. You know, with the onstage talent. You can be amazing on Twitter. And there's a few people that have been amazing on Twitter. They get the late night set and they absolutely bomb because they're not stand-ups.
It hasn't changed since time immemorial, when Buddy put that empty bowl in front of his feet on market day in the Middle Ages and did a tight 10 on the price of turnips. Right?
Yeah.
Right? And people came along, oh, that guy's doing all right.
Yeah.
You know?
What is your writing process like? Do ideas come to your head? Do you have to work them out? Are some things ready to go once they come into your consciousness?
Yeah.
Do you sit down and make yourself think?
Yeah, I do all of that.
Okay.
I do all of that. And the training I had writing the specials came from a discipline of keeping moleskin on the road. And in the days before social media. So I had my moleskin and I had my pen and my observations. And so I was vicariously living the life of the journalist I wanted to be when I graduated from university years ago, you know. I'm not as disciplined now with because of a lack of deadline. That really helped me writing the book for during COVID was the deadline. Right?
Yes, and you couldn't really perform live. So
couldn't perform
what
live.
A perfect...
Yeah, it was a light at the end of the tunnel during COVID, because I was able to use my moleskins and reflect back on the world that was prior to lockdown and how much we actually really did miss each other.
Yeah, because that's another thing, right? You're not doing clubs right now. You're all theatrical.
I just play the theaters.
You play your theaters, so you've written your stuff and you go out and you work it out. Are you working it out in real time?
No, because I don't want somebody who's paying $60 to see my show watch me work it out.
How do you work it out? I
pace it in my house and I memorize it. And
don't you need the pressure of somebody watching you?
Yeah, I get that when I step on stage, but it stays tight. I've been doing it so long, and I mean, that's how I did my first 5 specials. I never used a monitor. I just come on stage. We'd shoot 2 shows back to back with the same suit.
I don't think you could use a monitor for stand-up. It would really affect the delivery and the authenticity of it.
Well, I'll tell you, you do get used to it. I had to do that I had to start doing that in the series, because I would have my stand-up set and then the sketches.
Yeah.
And so each week I was doing a set.
Yeah.
I mean, each week we wrote 21 pages for 5 years of 13 half-hour shows, and it would be maybe 5 to 7, about 7 minutes of stand-up. And then
it's a lot.
And then each New Year's Eve, we'd write a special. We'd write 70 to 90 pages of stand-up. We walked in every Monday with a blank page, and by Friday I had a show to shoot.
Oh yeah,
and we wrote.
That's magical.
We wrote a cartoon. We wrote 5 sketches, 5 or 6 sketches, and stand-up. And so we had a wonderful room, and I learned a lot there. It's great for a stand-up to be working with other people. And now I write with Chris Finn and Paul Pogue, who collaborated with me on the Live from My Living Room specials. And that was great during COVID, because we could all Zoomed with each other. So it was great for our mental health.
Yes, it was.
You know, the 3 of us to be making sense of the chaos of the world in the language of laughs.
Yes.
Which is really what our job is, right?
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people turn their noses up at Zoom, but I really liked it, and I thought it was a great way to connect and keep your tools sharp.
Yeah, it was essential, and it was it worked for me. I had a great IT guy, Keith Tomasek.
You need good IT for Zoom.
That's not me. I'm telling you that. No. I mean,
You're on mute.
we went down. I mean, we went down in the middle of the show too, and people were.
Well, probably because you had so many people in the.
That was nice. We had a nice turnout. But to get back to the true charge of the work and how it genuinely channels the life force. It's working live, and I love doing my specials, and even the days you'd go down to Just for Laughs and get your chance there. That was always intimidating but fun. Once you got comfortable on that big St. Denis stage, the Halifax Comedy Festival, the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, the radio. It's all training, but what matters the most is seeing people laughing in real time. When you're on a stage.
Yeah.
I just had
Feeling
17 dates
energy.
across the snowy west. It was the frigid flatlands.
Yeah.
Minus 40 in Saskatoon. And they stumbled in to that beautiful pocket Broadway theater that holds about 500, bedecked in 3 layers of Gore-Tex, sporting snot popsicles, looking every inch like Shackleton's Lost Expedition. It was fantastic.